Okay, so montages can be pretty shitty, but they don't have to be. The Soviets realized how effective montages were for communication, even to an illiterate and uneducated audience. We're gonna need a montage. But the way in which montages are cut today is often formulaic and ineffective, with the exception of two editors that craft not only effective montages, but exceptional ones.
And the Oscar goes to Angus and Kirk Baxter for The Social Network.
This is Angus and Kirk Baxter, the pair of editors behind the critically acclaimed movie, The Social Network. Together, they've been nominated for 3 Oscars and gone on to win 2 of them. And whether that matters to you or not, the remarkable thing about these 2 is that their feature-length filmographies start and end with David Fincher. And The Social Network is arguably some of their best work, which is somewhat surprising since it's such a dense and fast-paced movie, especially the face smash sequence. From the dialogue to the music to the tempo, it delivers a lot of information and quickly, which could be a problem.
Because it is exhausting, dating you is like dating a stairmaster.
Stairmaster, or what Kevin B. Lee might call a cognitive treadmill. It's a simple concept. The more efficiently info is delivered to an audience, the more encouraged they'll feel to keep up, and the more likely they will. But the audience could very well miss a step and lose their footing.
I think we're fighting a losing game!
And just like that, the audience is lost, which is fatal in filmmaking. So how did Wall and Baxter pull off such an energetic film without losing us? A film that is essentially 2 hours of cognitive treadmill, or even 2 hours of montage. Well, if you take a close look at the famous face mask sequence, you'll notice something incredible about it. All of the beats, or building blocks of the scene, are arranged in a way that takes us through a comprehensive scene arc. Let's call this beat coherency. Without it, the cognitive treadmill would never work. But together, the 2 can propel the audience through an incredible amount of story, space, and time in a single scene. We as the audience often desire competing characters, suspense over whether or not the protagonist will get what he or she wants, and emotional shifts between positive and negative, just like this scene here. All of this could easily be included in the writing when it's a single location with only a couple speaking characters. But how would you pull this off in a scene that spans, say, endless locations and countless characters? A scene like the famous face mask sequence. In just over 3 minutes, we go through 25 locations, 75 clips, and countless characters. Yet it still operates like any other well-crafted scene. Wider shots that are used to establish location gradually move into closer, more emotional shots as we approach the scene climax. These emotions are constantly turning from positive to positive and so on, as Mark's motivation is driven by imagery of what he's missing out on. And this motivation has even been established earlier when Mark says,
"I'm just saying I need to do something substantial in order to get the attention of the clubs."
Why?
But an antagonist threatens to deprive Mark of his sought-out recognition, which ramps up suspense. Yet in the end, Mark gains the maximum amount of recognition possible, only to then realize it comes with unintended consequences, which set up the following scene. This is how a fully fleshed out scene arc should work, regardless of whether or not the scene is a montage.
I think in that scene there were 78 pieces of film in about 45 seconds. So a lot of people think that cutting is, or we'll say montage or assembly, is taking a man from one place to another and jumping into a close-up of him. But to me, it goes much deeper.
The term montage has taken on this negative connotation, which is a bummer because filmmaking is arguably the medium most capable of manipulating time and space. And I'm not trying to ignore the work of Sorkin or Fincher either. Filmmaking is obviously collaborative. But I'm hoping this encourages more filmmakers, whether they're writers or directors, to think about the powers possessed by editors.
Our whole mission with this was to think about the post-production aspect of it in a completely new way. Be creative. Use the tools that are out there that you can just buy on a website and use those.
In a way, editors are capable of pointillism, the arrangement of small beats rather than full strokes. And while this contrast could be jarring, it's the assembly that makes all the difference between noise and art.